In today's video, we are going to go through a series of exercises focused on isolating the hamstrings. Now, I know in a lot of other videos I go through movement patterns, but occasionally it pops up in the comments that someone really does just want to know how to isolate their hamstrings. So that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to go through a series of exercises, starting from the very beginning, how you just get them to activate, all the way up to like higher level hamstring strengthening exercises. If you're new to this channel, I'm Tara. I'm a neurologic physical therapist, and on this channel we focus on anything and everything related to mobility, health, fitness, and mindset in the context of neurologic injury, with the end goal of empowering you with as many tools as possible to take ownership of your rehab and your health to live an overall more active, more mobile, pain-free life. But before we dive into the exercises, we're going to go through a little bit of background on the hamstrings and where they are and what they do. Well, the hamstrings, they sit on the back of the leg and they primarily bend the knee, but they also extend the hip. And the reason for that is because they attach below the knee. And if you can picture a rope going up the back of your leg, they come up past some of the hamstrings come up past the hip joints. They actually cross two joints. So if your hip is bent, the hamstrings are going to act a little bit differently versus if your hip is straight and you try and bend that knee. So that's really important because you probably want to do a combination of both. You want to do some exercises where the hip is bent and some exercises where the hip is straight. For those of you that go to the gym, that's why they have like the hamstring curl machine where you're like sitting in a chair, and then they have the hamstring curl machine where you're laying on your stomach. It's really to get all parts of the hamstring muscle. So important to know that you really do need to be able to do both. Now, although this isn't a video on movement retraining, for some of you, it's important for me to emphasize that you might not be able to bend your knee because your leg is locked out straight. And in that case, this video really isn't for you. I have other videos on this channel for a stiff leg. So search anything where I talk about a stiff leg. But you really have to get those quad muscles to relax first before you get into some of these activation muscles. So that's number one. And then number two, for those of you that just have like a limp leg, like a leg that just feels floppy, you definitely want to pay attention to this video, but you definitely want to make sure you do exercises with the hip bent and the hip straight. So I hope all of that made sense, but now let's go ahead and dive into the exercises. So the first exercise, and probably the most basic, is a heel slide. So we're going to do it in a few different positions, starting from easiest to hardest. The first position would just be up on the wall. This is by far the easiest position to do this in, and then just letting your foot slide down the wall. Now, once you get good at that, the next position would be to do it sliding with it on the mat. And then remember, I mentioned that the hip position does matter. So doing it with it on the mat or parallel to the surface that you're laying on, the hip is slightly flexed. So if you can get really good at that, the next position to do would be with that hip straight. So just hanging it off the back and sliding it on the ground. So for this exercise, what we're working on is kind of like eccentric control of the hamstrings. This is going to be good for some of you who have like involuntary like extension of your leg. If you have spasticity or an extensor synergy pattern in your leg, this is probably one of the exercises I would start with to start engaging your hamstring. What I'm basically doing is using my hand to bend my knee and bring my leg up, and then slowly walking them out. So if you do have this issue, most likely your leg shoots out when you try and do a bridge. So basically we're just trying to do a bridge and slowly walk the feet out without it shooting out straight. So let me show that to you again. You're going to pull your foot up, or if you have enough control, you can just bring it up and get those heels as close to your bottom as possible. Start with just the bridge and make sure you're not sliding up because that's your legs straightening out. So step one is being able to hold the bridge and not, again, shoot up or have your legs shoot out straight. And then slowly try and walk the feet out. And if you can do that, you can try walking them back. So for this exercise, what we're working on is a heel slide. I like this board. I use it for a few different exercises, but it's real slippery. You can use it for some standing exercises as well as obviously this exercise here. But basically what you're trying to do if you're in the very early stages is you want to use your hand to bend your knee and then slowly let the leg out. Once you feel like you can do that, then you're going to try and start with it straight and bend it up. So I'll show you both methods. You can use your hand or strap something around your leg to help you lift it up, to bend it up, and then let go and see if you can slowly let it out. And then once you can do that, then you're going to try and start with it straight and bend it back up. Now, for some of you that have spasticity in your leg, it might help to put a little bolster under your knee so that it doesn't drop all the way straight. It's really hard to unlock your knee from a straight position, but if it starts a little bit bent, sometimes it's a little bit easier to bend it up. And then let it come back out, and then again bend it up. Or when you're letting it back out, just don't let it go all the way straight. Kind of stop it when there's still a bend in that knee, and then pull it back up. Pull it back up. And then if you can get good at that, then you can add a little bridge and try and go out slow. So lift your bottom, try and go out slow. So for this exercise, we're just putting our foot up on a skateboard and kind of using the skateboard as a frictionless surface to pull the foot back towards the bottom. This is by far the easiest position. So if you're in the really, really early stages of trying to get those hamstrings to bend that knee, then this is where I would start. But again, you're just going to kind of let that skateboard out and then pull it back. If you can't, initiate a knee bend with your knee straight, put something on the other side of this so that it can't roll all the way out and just work a smaller range. So what I mean by that is, again, just have like a barrier or boundary that doesn't allow that skateboard to roll all the way out, and then pull it back. For a lot of you, once your knee gets straight, it's really hard to unlock it, to pull it back. So if you just don't let it get all the way straight, it might be a little bit easier for you to bend that knee. So again, just let it out and then pull it back. Let that foot out, pull it back. Let it out, pull it back. Now, if you absolutely cannot do that, and there are some of you out there that that knee just does not like to bend, use your hand to pull the foot back and then try and let it slowly come out. This is a good exercise for those of you that have a stiff leg too, or your leg likes to involuntarily straighten out, using your hand to pull it back and not let it do that, but actually slowing it down so it doesn't shoot out straight. All right, and then for this one, you're just going to sit and just pull that leg back. So you can just anchor a resistance band into a door, and then again, you're just pulling that leg back. Now, one thing you want to pay attention to is that you're not leaning back and just lifting that knee up. I do see that occasionally, so make sure you're keeping that foot pretty close to the ground, if not on the ground. and almost like pretending like you're wiping gum off the bottom of your shoe. The next group of exercises we're going to do with this, you can use this barrel, or you can use a chair, lay on the ground and put your feet up on a chair, but you're just going to lift your bottom. If you get really good at that, you can try and do it just with one leg. The next exercise, you're going to put your feet up on the gym ball, and we're just kind of basically doing like what we call an isometric. So your leg is not going to move a whole lot, but you're just kind of pressing that heel into the ball. So you're smashing that ball. If you can do that, then you can try lifting your hips. If two legs is kind of easy, you can try kind of crossing your legs. That'll make it a little bit harder. Or putting your hands down on the mat so that the ball doesn't roll. And then once you can get good at that, you can try starting with your legs straight, lifting your bottom up, and then pulling those legs in. Now we're going to do one with the hips straight. You're just going to do a hamstring curl. If that's pretty easy for you, you can go ahead and add a band to your feet. And same thing. So you're using one foot to hold the band down and just adding some resistance with the other foot. Or if you have ankle weights, that'll work also. So for this exercise, what you're basically doing is just trying to dig your heel in. You want to be on something that has wheels on it. If you don't have great balance, make sure you do that very carefully. Maybe put it up against a wall, or between a wall and a coffee table or something before you try and sit down on it. Then you're just digging your heel in and pulling your heel towards your bottom, almost like you're trying to scrape gum off the bottom of your shoe. Reach and pull. Reach and pull. One more time. Reach that out and pull it back. Reach it out and pull it back. Reach and pull that heel towards your bottom. So for this one, I'm just sitting on a furniture slider and digging my heel into the ground and pulling forward. Now, this is not the working leg. I have another type of furniture slider that has wheels on it so that this leg doesn't get stuck on the ground. But what it also does is it doesn't allow me to help with this leg. So definitely, if you can, and you have these things around the house, just put something else on wheels under your other foot. And then you're just trying to really focus on digging this heel in and pulling forward. Dig the heel in and pull forward. Dig the heel in and pull forward. And then that is it for this video. I hope you guys found one or two exercises in there that you can add to your home exercise program, as well as I hope it gave you a vision for the potential or how you might be able to advance your exercises down the road. If you're new to this channel and you like this kind of video, you like these exercise videos, definitely hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so that you'll get notified every time I upload new videos. If you want to get a couple of exercises throughout the week, head on over to Instagram and follow us over there, where I post 1 to 2 videos every single week. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can join our gold membership program, which gives you access to over 350 exercises that I personally use to give to my patients that I see in person, as well as access to our Discord channel, and you will be able to join us for our monthly lives where you can submit questions in advance and I answer those questions once a month. I enjoyed spending time with you all today, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.